All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Seti. Kick back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. It's going down this Sunday. The code is mind blowing. The cult breakdown of the Bible ever presented by General Sarah Seti. That's right. April 23rd, 2023. Of course, 20 chambers of mysteries revealed about the Bible. Only the general can break it down like this. Guarantee you it's going to be mind blowing, it's going to be shocking, and it's going to provide the family with great insight on the Bible. So click that link. Brother Raiden dropped it in there for me in the chat. It's in the video description. Click that link. Begin to think. Don't hesitate to elevate. Guaranteed again to be a thrilling ride of academic knowledge, revealing, 20 mysteries unrevealed in the way that the general dropping it, guaranteed to be uplifting for the African mind. That's right. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com. Matter of fact, where is it at? I'm supposed to have it in there. There it is right there, family. Mind blowing. That's right, mind blowing. You see, ring the alarm. That's right, kingseti.com online marketplace. Right now at this time, we got 20% off. Save before you shop. Save before you shop. 20% waiting on you when you check out. We got the African, we got the classic and Jurassic DVD lectures by the general. We got the t-shirts and hoodies for the kings and queens. Yes, indeed, we do. We got African and Kemetic jewelry for the family. We got all that Pharaoh heads. We got medallions for the sisters. We got West African. We got the Naga Kushite, cosmological talisman, arms, all seeing eyes, Keparaz. We got you, family. Holistic tonics and herbal remedies for your family. We got that health as well. Home decor accessories for every room in the house, living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom. We got you. Check us out and guarantee you're going to love what you see and get your discount, 20% discount at the same time. GeneralSeti.com. That's right. SETI University. Pull the fire alarm, GeneralSeti.com. We got over 900 video presentations on African heritage, history, spirituality, nation building, advanced African academics developing the Black nation one lesson at a time. The complete General Sarah Seti website with all the hot topics that the general been dropping down through the years. We got from Naga to Nigga, the Kushite origins of the Hindu Kush. That's right. We got God deception. We got when Kemet ruled the earth, the Black woman is God. The Olmec voyages of the Nile, holiday holocaust, all the major subjects. We got video libraries and catalogs highlighting all that dynamic information and research that been done in those subjects down through the years. So you cannot go wrong. Check me out, generalseti.com. The link is in the video description in the chat room. SETI keep it popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come. Exclusive live stream, too hot to handle on YouTube or any other tube, or so exclusive that we keep it for our family on Patreon. Drop Lilith, Queen of Hell, Chief Goddess of the White World, the Holy Waters of Creation, the African Serpent and Mermaid Goddess, General Seti's Dictionary of Alchemy and occult keywords relating to Black divinity. Only 3 hot presentations out of 150 that you can gain access to when you become a patron. Get on over there, family. Thank me later. It's so hot. This is the websites where we keep the hot sauce. Too hot for any other platform. And so get on over there to generalseti.com, Patreon, General Seti, and get that hot sauce. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Seti, and we're offering memberships on Sarah Seti YouTube page, the one you're on right now. We're offering membership, and we got some We got some electrifying perks that nobody else can provide you nowhere on the planet. And so, of course, I love the fact that I can take it up a notch and let my family know that I appreciate them by providing them access to presentations and information that nobody else can give them on the planet. I guarantee you that. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels. Hit that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends, and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. You will be up out of there, family. All right. We black. Olmec Africans, the founders of the written language in ancient America. See, we got to hunt them down because, see, people just talking about facts, and we just have to drop facts that unrefutable. Okay, we talking about unrefutable facts. And so let me get in here. Let me get on in here and get to dropping. Let me get on in here and get to dropping. You see? And so we talking about who brought the written language into the Americas. You see? Because based on research, we got to accept it for what it is. If you can prove it wrong, then step up and prove it wrong. You see, we don't want to hear we don't want to hear no damn sermons. No, we don't want to hear no sermons. We're gonna look at the undisputable facts of who brought language to the Americas. And if somehow it wasn't the Africans that brought it, we need to figure out who it was. You see, we looking at evidence where it says tracing the origins of language. Now, we're going to talk about not only the spoken language, we're talking about written language too. You see, we're talking about written language too. It says tracing the origins of language. An analysis of the sounds. We're talking about sounds now. Used in 504 languages around the world, found that languages tend to be less diverse with fewer phonetic sounds the farther their speakers are from Southern Africa. Okay, that's powerful. Now, if you look down there in the left bottom, you see that what they saying even into the Gold Coast, now. That's profound. Now, that's profound. Even into the Gold Coast. And what we talking about? Ghana, Nigeria, up in that area too. You see, the pattern implies that language might have originated once among early Africans, I ain't gonna say human, then became less and less diverse the farther Africans migrated from Southwestern Africa. Okay? And so, the shaded areas, the shaded bands represent the decreasing diversity of sounds in local languages. You see, and so again, that is even profound in showing that Egypt was the product of Southern Africa, because it says that shaded bands represent the decreasing diversity of the sounds in local languages. Now, when I look at that, and you talking about as you move further away from Africa, you see, and you see the shaded areas is showing you that the further you move away from Africa, the less diverse the language becomes. Then nobody on the outside can come into Africa. You understand what I'm saying? If you coming in, you on the outside, and you coming in with less phonetic sounds, how you gonna be the author of ancient Egypt? And you coming in with less sounds. You see? You coming in with less sounds. You coming in with less phonetic diversity. You see? Now let's leave. We're gonna walk it down now. A new study found that the dialects with the most phonemes, phonemes or distinct units of sound, that could be A, I, B, ba, a C, ka. You see, those are phonemes. You understand? Or distinct units of sounds are spoken in Africa, okay? While those with the fewest phonemes are spoken in South America and the South Pacific. The research suggests that language originated in Africa and spread out through the migrations. You see? Now, all we have to do, if it ain't true, is to lay the alphabets out. Let's lay the phonemes out and let's see. If it's true, that's easy. We could do that. You see? Let's do that. And so the thing is, when you see the development of language, eventually you're going to develop into writing, okay? Because and when you talk about phonemes, or we just talking about sounds, let's just say sounds in the language that require you to develop an alphabetical sign for that, whether it's A, B, and you understand, and then but if you ain't got a society that require you to say much, you see, when you look in Egypt, you see a society that didn't highly develop to be where just grunting and just speaking it. You understand what I'm saying? It didn't develop to a point where it requires you to record the information. Okay, it requires you to record the information. But if you still stuck in the hunter and gatherer stage, you still stuck in the hunter and gatherer stage, that don't require you to do too much writing. You see what I'm saying? Because you're too busy out there hunting. You see, you're too busy out there gathering. So it requires you to develop into a state of agriculture. You see what I'm saying? A state of agriculture where you can, you have a more sound way of feeding yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Than out there hunting animals and things. And when you have a sound system of feeding yourself, then that leaves you it leaves you more time to develop other sciences. You see it, and so we are locking in on these peoples out here that's saying that they have developed outside of Africa. And I'm trying to see, well, what did they develop? What did they develop? You see, we got to understand, what did they develop? And if, we seeing people, they always talking about they got books. And that again is an invention of Africa, but they spit on Africa, but then they say they got some books. I said, well, God damn it, that alone is an invention of Africa, because nobody on this planet can say they have books before African people. You see what I'm saying? Oh, we got the books. We got the document. Motherfucker, we showed you how they document. You understand? When you start showing documents and you showing that Egypt is the first nation on the goddamn planet that had institutions where they documented the things that you say you provide to the people today. Records and so on and so forth. So so this is crazy that people that claim that they other things other than African are using African technology to refute Africa being, you know what I'm saying, the founders of civilization. If you can show me, and you know who I'm talking to, Aboriginals, y'all say y'all Aboriginals of North America, I'm gonna bring this shit up. Show me where you invented literature. Show me where you invented, because we can prove who brought who had the first written language in the Americas, North or South. We can prove that. And if it's not true, you understand what I'm saying? Then bring forth the records, which I know you can't do. Okay, so let's deal with this. Let's deal with this. Because when you see somebody that, when you got a society, like I say, such as, and it's a developed society, you see, you got institutions, you need records. Okay? If you need records. If you're out there hunting buffaloes and shit, and that's all you're doing, and you might got a couple, you might got a couple, corn stalks and shit, and a couple of, gourds and shit or whatever you're growing out there, and a few beans here and there. Yeah, you don't need no goddamn written language for that. You understand? We talking about high civilization and mathematics and shit. You understand what I'm saying? It don't take no goddamn geometry, goddamn it, to put no mound together. It only takes some buckets. All you need is buckets and motherfucker that come dig the dirt up and throw it over in the mound. And I respect that, even if our people did build mounds. But goddamn, that was so far back, and they want to compare that they got goddamn mounds older than Egypt, the pyramid. Motherfucker, do you understand that the date that they giving for the pyramid is the end date? That shit that ain't the development stage. We talking about over 500 fucking thousand years of development in the pyramid. They want to take the end date and say, oh, we got a goddamn, well, goddamn it, we got mounds older than goddamn pyramid. We got mounds older than your goddamn mound. You see? What the fuck is you talking about? You ain't start with the damn pyramid. We didn't start with the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? We got mounds older than your goddamn mounds. You see? And so let's look at some things. Let's bring some things up. They ain't invented nothing. I mean, even when you talk about the Greeks, they got a few motherfucking temples. They had some form of masonry. You see what I'm saying? They had some form of goddamn masonry. You see? I mean, even when you talk about, they talk about the primeval mound. You see what I'm saying? That, when you talk about the floods, and, when the Nile flooded, and then the silt, you understand what I'm saying, that came down the river from Ethiopia, which is the fertilizer. And when it come down in the flood, it would pile up at the end of the Nile. You see what I'm saying? And when the flood began to recede, then you will see the mounds of fertilizer start to appear from up out of from up under the water. And this like I say, this was the fertilizer that they used. You understand what I'm saying? For vegetation and so on, that really made Egypt the breadbasket of the ancient world. And so they had their own stories of the primeval mounds. You see what I'm saying? And this, and this became how they say land, and even in the Bible where they say that the firmament, God separated the heavens from the firmament, and the water, the waters from the firmament, and this, that, and the third. This is the stories that came out of that. You see what I'm saying? So now when we talk about the earliest written language, let's see if we can see what's going on. It says several clues have long suggested that the Olmec civilization, which flourished from 1200 BC, a little earlier than that. They kind of, because they trying again with Egypt. Olmec was a little earlier than that. Okay? Might, close to maybe 1,000, but they reached a height. You see? A height around that 1200 BC. They started to, that's when you see the pyramids and a lot of the heads began to, surface. You see, so you're talking about 1200 BC to 400 BC was the first developed cultural traditions, including writing, later adopted by the Mayan, who reigned from about 300 AD to 900 AD. So the Mayans is an AD people. They tried to, you understand what I'm saying? They tried to give the Mayans a more ancient presence, and they really, because they really trying to usurp the Olmecs, really is what they want to do. That just don't, that don't sit well with them, no matter how they try to say that those are heads of Mexican people. That just don't rock with them. That's not their traditional look that they want to rock with. They want the more Mayan look. They don't want the Olmec look. You see what I'm saying? So if they can find any way to trump the Olmec, they would do that. You see? So when you start talking, let me clear some shit up. Number one. When you start talking about writing, now we just went over the fact. Anybody want to look it up, they can. Okay, when we start talking about in North America. Now let me see. Where is it at? Thought I had it up here. Okay, right here. Now, when you start talking about North America, written Cherokee will be the first written syllabic form of a Native American language. Okay? And that was in 1821. I say, God damn. You know how far in time the Africans were already writing? By time 1821 came? Of course they did, brother. You hear that? Yeah, we know that. I'm glad you brought that. We know that. A lot of other people don't know that. You see, they trying to get away with it. So the thing is, if you was here and you was here for such an ancient time, what the fuck was you doing? What was you doing? Because you were still into earthworks. Where most other societies have began to use masonry. You see? They have begun to use masonry, which we using today. Or wood or but that requires a high science. You see, that requires a high science. You see, they're gonna require you put that ruler. They're gonna require you to put that damn you know what I'm saying? That compass and all these, the tools of mathematics on that paper, just like it was done in ancient and today it was done in ancient times. And so I'm just trying to figure this shit out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna tighten the grip up, but this is just preliminary shit that I just look for. Because I look for high technology, and it's obvious. It's obvious. You could go into Mesopotamia. You see the ziggurats. They use the mud brick. You see they use the mud, but that shit. It melted down. It dilapidated. They didn't use masonry. You understand what I'm saying? And so it melted down, dilapidated. You understand what I'm saying? And so, even when it comes, people try to, promote Mesopotamia, but even India did better than that. Even India did, but you can go to China. They got the Great Wall. You see, now whenever they built that, I don't know. You understand? But they still have evidence of masonry. They're just, shit, and I don't want to hear nobody knock the shit down. Because if you build on a certain level, motherfuckers ain't going to knock it down. They can't knock it down. You understand? It'd be, a waste of their fucking time to try to knock. And in Egypt, you ain't knocking that shit down. You ain't knocking it down. You ain't gonna. You'd be a waste of your fucking time to try to knock all that down. You see? So when you go into most societies, when you look at the temples, you can tell where they came from. You see, because the blueprint, when you see, we dealing with high science. So when you look at the blueprint, it's not hard to see that most temples in the ancient world is patterned after the ancient Egyptian temple. I done showed you that time and time again. You see? I done showed you that time and time again. And so, so the Greeks, even though they shit can't compare to the ancient Egyptian, you see? Some quote books from the Mayans, people word for word. It was a wrap for me. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. You see? And so, they had some form of masonry. So it was, it's just a few peoples that were so backwards or so less developed. I ain't gonna say back, less developed. I don't want to talk, too hard on nobody. You see, the Arab is one of them. The Northern European, one of them. You see? No evidence. The shit that they showing of rocks, that's African. That's prior to them moving into that area. You see what I'm saying? It was prior to them moving into that area. So I look for things. So if you was here and everybody else at some point in time moved into the state of masonry, show me your masonry. Don't say it, don't lie and say everybody, no. And even when they got to the point in ancient Egypt where they knew that they would come in and try to knock the damn letters off the walls of the temples. You see, they would try to go in there, and what they did, Ramesses the third at Menehet Habu, he carved the glyphs into the temple so deep that you can almost put half a finger, up to the middle of where your knuckles is, into the glyphs. That's how deep he carved in there. You understand? To the point that you're gonna have to destroy the whole damn temple to try to get them out of there. But you're gonna literally put yourself in a position where the damn temple wall might fall over. You're gonna have to literally go in there like this. And so if you're gonna do that, you might as well try to knock the motherfucker down. Ain't no sense of you gonna get in there and you gonna, that would take so much effort. So you got glyphs in Egypt that it's no way, it's the original. Ain't nobody changed. Those are original from the time that they were produced. You see what I'm saying? So you talking about, you see Imhotep. I don't want nobody telling me about I got the books and show me the doc. That is in itself is an African. That ain't no goddamn Indian had no books. Black or goddamn white. Where in America? No. Where they at? Where they at? Where the fuck is they at? Show me one. Show me one, goddammit. Show me one. Not two, one. You understand what I'm saying? It is very clear now, you see right here. What kind of written language that the Mayans use? Okay. And it says, where they already said at the top that the Mayans used the hieroglyphic system that was established by the Olmecs. And the Aztec had no known written language and instead displayed their ideas in glyphs or pictures. This means that the Aztec wrote using images that represented the different words or things of which they wish to express. You see, and that right there show you right there that that when they talk about alphabetical, that when you have images or pictures that they don't consider them to be an alphabet, per se. This means that they had a hieroglyphic system. So the first form of writing don't necessarily mean it was alphabetical. You understand what I'm saying? It was pictorial. And it come from the Olmec. And so the thing is, when you look at, and I'm breaking this shit down, when you look at the so-called Indians who had the most development, that was the ones that was closest to the Olmecs, period. That's just facts. You see? Now, when you move out from the Olmecs, as you get further, just like they say language, when you move further and further from Africa, the less diverse the language becomes. So now the crazy thing is, now we can back this up. The Inca did not have a written language. They didn't even have a hieroglyphic language. You see? They didn't even have a hieroglyphic language, and they talk about that. Where's that one where they talk about the Inca? Right here. This one right here. Let me get it up there. It's right here at the bottom. It says the Inca, a technologically sophisticated culture that assembled the largest empire in the Western Hemisphere, have long been considered the only major Bronze Age civilization that failed to develop a system of writing, a puzzling shortcoming that nowadays is called the Inca paradox. You see, they call that the Inca paradox. And so when you go farthest south and you go farthest north, because you don't have no goddamn written language in North America until the Cherokee in 1821. So when you look at the two furthest extremes, north and south, none of them had a written goddamn language. But those so-called Indians, Mesoamericans, that was closest to the Olmec, were the most advanced because they had access to that knowledge that came from. And so you see right there that it was centralized right there on the Gulf of Levanta. You understand what I'm saying? Right there in the Gulf of Veracruz, up in that area, is where it was centralized. No other place on the continent. And you can see that, like the mound, they were developing, but they had masonry around their mounds. When you look at Teotihuacan, you look at Chicula, you understand? Chicula was the largest pyramid, but it's no longer standing, but it was mud. They used mounds too, but they had masonry. They had masonry. You know what I'm saying? This is what got to be brought up. They had masonry. And even what they talking about down there in the Inca didn't have nothing to do with that. They show you what the Inca built. You understand? Them megalithic stones that was down there in Peru was there thousands of years before the Inca even showed up. You see what I'm saying? They didn't. And so even when you start looking at the Mississippi Mound, yeah, they got up here, but as they move, further, no, you're not gonna have. And even when you look at the Olmec heads, you see what I'm saying? Those initial heads is the epitome of the carving in the Americas. After you see them original, I believe it's about 12 to 18 heads. Once you get past, they start to devolve. You don't see them on that level. After that, you don't see them on that level. And so what you have to understand, wherever they came from, the knowledge was potent. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So when you start to see how society develop, you ain't gonna start large. You always see the stages of development. Even with the pyramid of Saqqara. You see what I'm saying? Before you talking about the step pyramid of Saqqara that was built by Imhotep, they didn't start there. They started with the mastabas. You see, they started with the one level mastabah. And then you see Imhotep stack the mastabas. And and then you see pharaohs that come after him and architects try to fill the, because they really, even in the Great Pyramids, they still step pyramids. You understand what I'm saying? You see, once they take the outer casing off of it, you see the steps is in there. But that was ultimately where they was trying to get to the true pyramid. You understand? Flat on all sides coming up to a point. That's a pyramid. You see what I'm saying? And so you see the stage and you see the flaws. You see the pyramid of Meidum, where you see the outer casing fell down. You see the bent pyramid of Sneferu before he got it right with the red pyramid, which is the first true pyramid. So you see the development stage. You don't just show up large. It's always a development stage. Now, when you look at the Olmecs, and you don't see no stage of development, but it got to be development. And so if you don't see it here, and you don't, just like after the Olmecs, you see around 1200, after you see the great large heads, you start to see them devolve. They ain't as exquisite as the ones that you regularly see. You go and look up the heads of Olmec. Those are the earliest ones. And then after those, they all are less exquisite. And so really, that's what you're supposed to see before you get to the heads that you see regularly, the great heads of the Olmecs. You're supposed to see these devolved heads. Those are supposed to be the stages of development. You're supposed to see those less exquisite heads. Those are supposed to be where they working up to it. You see what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to start exquisite and then go backwards and shit. You understand? To less exquisite. You see what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to. So again, you're supposed to see the less exquisite heads as the stage of development, but you don't see that. The most exquisite heads are the earliest heads. So where the fuck is the stages of development? It happened somewhere else. That's what happened. And when they came over here, they were straight out of the universities of Africa. And that fucking knowledge was potent. You understand? That them early groups that was coming, they were straight out the Nile. And that knowledge was potent. And it was not produced nowhere else, not in North America. And they got some stones down in Peru, but the Olmecs is more likely to responsible for everything that you see that's on the megalithic level. And so when you talking about who on the planet that was carving heads, you see, if you wanted to go to school to build skyscrapers and shit, where you gonna go? You see, you got to go to the schools that's already established, and the only place where you could see people that was dealing with heavy stone like that. You not only carving it, you got to be able to transport something like that. You see what I'm saying? On water, across land, and you can get some backs, but you got to have some machinery to pull that shit across land too. You ain't just gonna pull that shit. You gotta have to have, You got to have the wheel. You're gonna have to have the wheel. You're gonna have to have whether you using logs and shit, and you put it on logs, and you roll that shit, and then you take one log at the end of the plank, and you bring it to the front, and you keep pulling it. You understand what I'm saying? That may be a way of doing it, or you selling it up, the river. If you got that type of technology to do that, you see what I'm saying? Nobody else displayed that type of technology. The Mayans and the Aztec admit that all them cities was already established before they even came into them. Let's deal with that. What they call the Mayan calendar is the Olmec calendar, which is the African calendar. The goddamn date on the Olmec calendar go back to 3,000 something BC. How the fuck anybody else on this goddamn and it's a written calendar. It ain't just you putting some goddamn it they got deacons and all this shit for the damn different constellations and shit on the Olmec calendar. This is somebody that been developing for a long time. This ain't nobody. So if these is the oldest and there's no other source of development on the goddamn continent, and it would take thousands of years of fucking development to construct the heads, the calendar, where the fuck did it come from? It didn't come from here. That's facts. Y'all niggas is fool. You're not gonna be able to get around me. You see? You're not gonna be able to get around these facts. You're not gonna be able to get around these facts. Period. So we are proving, and we will continue to prove. And this is preliminary. This is preliminary shit right here. We're gonna start putting the vice grips on these niggas. You see, we don't want to hear nothing about these niggas becoming like the Bible, bringing out books and shit. And yes, we must have books, but goddamn it, it's some shit we don't need no books for. We can look at the facts that's here. And make clear understand. We don't need no motherfucker to, reading no. I'm looking right at the motherfucking pyramid. I'm looking right at the goddamn Olmec heads. I'm looking right at them. You know what I'm saying? And so, we don't need no goddamn, book all the time. That's for motherfucker that need to finesse a motherfucker into something. You see what I'm saying? To finesse a motherfucker into something. And so that's just like the Bible and shit. Well, come and read the book. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, I need, is it explaining something that, that's obvious? I don't want nothing that where you got to take me, and you got to go in my mind and you got to unplug all the reality so you can try to fool me with this shit. You see, just like I say, Egypt don't require a motherfucker to say too much or nothing. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you want specialized teachers that can take you further into your studies. But once you see it for yourself, you don't need no mother. Like I say, you can go. Listen, nigga, you can go on a world tour. You could go wherever the fuck you want to go. You can go wherever the fuck you want to go. Go all over. Go to every continent. Make Africa last. Make Africa last. You can go to Asia. You can go to fucking North America, South America. You can go to Europe. You can go to Australia. You can go into the South Pacific. And when you come to Egypt, you ain't gonna have to read a fucking book to come to the understanding that this was the greatest nation that has ever existed on the planet Earth. No books needed. No books needed. That's my new. No, yes, we require research, but sometimes books, and we have to prove. Dr. Ben said, research the researchers. That's what Dr. Ben said. Yeah, research the researchers. Yeah, research the researchers. Yes, you must read books. But if you don't have teachers to show, you just read, nigga. We read shit that count. We don't just read. Some of you niggas just reading. You understand what I'm saying? We study masters to become masters. We let masters show us, you understand what I'm saying, what we should be reading. Nigga, you niggas out there, A, B, C, E, F, G. I read a whole lot of books, nigga. Don't come in my shit with that bullshit, nigga. I got more books than you nigga, than your local library. Yeah, nigga. I got classic shit, nigga. What is you talking about? You don't read. You seen my motherfucking library? Motherfucker, I got shit, nigga. I got books, nigga, that cost thousands of dollars, nigga. I got a goddamn library, nigga, with over 4,000 books in it, nigga. I done spent hundreds of thousands on books, nigga. And then I went to Egypt and I saw it for myself. And a lot of that goddamn, no, leave that nigga in there. And leave his ass in there for he gone. Damn. I was about to punish that nigga. I was gonna punish that nigga. I was gonna punish that nigga. That's okay, Ray. You got it. Nigga, Ray dragged that nigga out of the clutches of the goddamn crocodile. You understand what I'm saying? I was on his ass like so back. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was on that nigga like so back. That nigga Ray got him, man. Ray did the right thing. You know, I'm punishing these niggas now. Talking about I don't read. Motherfucker, I got nigga, my motherfucking nigga, my book, my library costs more than your life, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? The hell, nigga, I done bought all kind of books and shit. And nigga, if I'll sell them motherfuckers today. You understand what I'm saying? Spent all that goddamn money on them and shit. And then when I went and saw it for myself, I say, well, these motherfuckers is lying. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that nigga Ray pulled him out of the motherfucking jaws of the great white. Yeah, you say that nigga, man. I was gonna punish that nigga. Bring your simplistic ass over here talking about I don't read. Nigga, I done read more books than nigga 4 generations of your family, nigga, combined. Nigga, probably longer than that. The fuck is you talking about, nigga? Don't make me light your ass up, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? No, you good, bro. You did the right thing. Don't you know what? When niggas start talking shit, you already pull them on out. I'm gonna just tell you, pull them on out of there. As soon as you see a nigga, you know, if he's being intellectual, cool. But if the nigga trying to be, you know, a slick with his talk, pull his ass on out. Don't wait on me, even if I'm on his ass. Pull his ass on out of there. Cause you know, all I'm gonna do is start barking and shit instead of teaching. You see? Yeah. You say, let him score. Yeah, I was about to punish that nigga too. I was going to punish his ass. Anyway, these niggas thinking they can fuck with me. You understand what I'm saying? No, nigga, you going to fuck around and get your weak ass embarrassed. That's what you going to do. You understand what I'm saying, nigga? Believe that. You going to get your weak ass punished is what you going to do. All right? All right, family. We just getting started. This is, you know, and I'm going to be black later on, and we're going to start, you know, but do your own research. Start with the writing and go look it up. You see what I'm saying? And get you something. I see family was dropping tools in there. I showed you the Cherokee was the earliest written language in North America, 1821. If it's something, show it. Show us the literature from ancient times. See, you showing it. No, just see, you wouldn't need so much shit. You wouldn't need some, yeah, we can get some books. But shit, we could take it to the, you know, the artifacts too. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, listen, let me tell you something. The artifacts are primary sources. Books after the fact are not primary sources. They are secondary sources. So first and foremost, you want to have your primary sources. You want to have the artifacts that come from that time period. Those are primary sources. Anything after the fact, any type of interpretation or that's secondary. And it could be a good secondary source, but you shouldn't have all secondary sources, you know, books and shit. No, you should have primary first, and you're supposed to have primary resources, and then you have, you know, excellent secondary resources or sources that are interpreting the primary research resources, and you should have authors, you understand what I'm saying, with high credentials that you respect and the world respect, you understand what I'm saying, that qualify them to make a secondary resource, as such as a book speaking about, but not everybody. You see what I'm saying? So I get quality. I don't motherfucker just show up. No, that's a second. No, just show me the early civilization and let it speak for itself. That's what we talking about today. And then we could discuss. Then we could discuss the secondary sources. You understand? Because you might see, if you get a chance to see the primary, you got something to stand on that when you can look at a motherfucker and say, I don't see that. What you talking about? I don't see that. I don't see that. And so you always stand on primary sources. You see? And even if you get it, and I'm about to get about it, even if you get a secondary source, somebody's understand. You see, they know when you talk about when time, they know further away from the origin of the science than you. Okay? They know further. You can make, if you go and see it for yourself. You see what I'm saying? I ain't just talking about leaving your arms, your elbows on the armchair. You got to go and see it for yourself and do the proper research and validate the questions that you want to ask when you get there, and you answer them. And you back it up with the facts of what you saw and how you validated your answer. You understand what I'm saying? You validate it with facts. And so as you see it, and when a person say, well, how did you see it? This is the experiment. This is the facts that I use to come to my understanding. That's what you do. And you can do that scientific method yourself. And you can see, and that's why scholars, you understand what I'm saying, have come to, you can have scholars with all type of degrees that see things different. So just because you find some weak motherfucker that agree with your interpretation don't mean that it's correct. You can get all the books and all the interpretations you want. It's enough motherfuckers that think like every motherfucker out here. Where damn near every motherfucker can find enough. But let's look at quality. You understand what I'm saying? Let's look at the quality of the researchers, and let's compare them, and let's see who got the best secondary source material. You understand? To back up the interpretation of ancient history. That's what we need to do, family. Quality. All right, family. This is the General Cyrus Sunseti, and I'm saying, hey, we'll be black later on. This is the General saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.